Well, it's safe to say that Mortal Kombat 1 is not in the best place right now, and that's kind of putting it mildly. You can look all over YouTube. It is a dumpster fire for Mortal Kombat 1 right now. And I think pretty much like most people have been saying, this game really only has a month, maybe two, before it's probably in the gutter and it's in the trash can for good. So I thought I'd take today at least to talk about what should Mortal Kombat 1 fix, what needs to be fixed, and what would just make the game better overall to make the game a better experience. So let's get into it. We're gonna start this off with the newest mode to Mortal Kombat, Invasions. Now, Invasions to me is not bad. I just think it's improperly used, and I think that they do need to fix a lot of it to make it a mode that people will at least want it to come back. In Mortal Kombat, was it 13? 12? I don't know, man. It's just so many titles nowadays. First things first, the maces. They're really beautiful and they're great. Love the way they're designed. But we have to stop reusing them. For the love of God. It has been the same 6 or 7 maces since the start of the game. We need new maces. That is absolutely the step in the right direction to make Mortal Kombat, at least the Invasions part of Mortal Kombat, at least tolerable. Because you've given us so many different, beautiful, set pieces, and you're not really using them. Why do we not have one for Outworld? Where's the one for like Order Realm before Havoc destroys it? Maybe you could do one of Order Realm after Havoc destroys it. Why don't we have one for the Nether Realm? Why isn't there one for Earth Realm? Just different places that we can see and run through, and different just things to visit instead of the same 7 that we've been seeing, and then we only get one new mesa that really kind of plays the exact same as the boss ones before. It's really weird, and I really would like to see them put more effort into the new mesas and just give us different ones at the very least. Next, we have removing armor. Now, I want to preface this by saying I want the armor removed on day-to-day battles, like just normal battles, the ones you're constantly doing. That's not fun. That's really just a nuisance, and it really just hinders the overall fun of the mode. Now, I absolutely believe that bosses should have armor. That's fine, because once again, they're bosses. They should be, the pinnacle of BS, because that's kind of how bosses in fighting games have always been. The people that just make you want to throw your controller out the window. I am fine with that. However, normal people, that's kind of stupid. It just makes fighting them a slog, because you're just punching a wall and then it just hits you. Of course, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but even still, it becomes more tedious than anything. This one, I would love to see them add more as well. I'd love to see them add more test your mights and survive game modes to Invasions, instead of just to break up the monotony of just constantly going to each single, circle and fighting. Because once again, there's a reason that people like test your might. And even then, the one thing I can say is I really like what they did with the survive game modes. This time around, where you got to, go under an ice block and constantly keep it up to keep yourself safe. I think that was a really cool idea. Instead of, just jump over these balls. Jump over these balls for 20, 30 seconds and that's it. Give us more interactive things. Stay here for what's it called, or try to outlast the opponent until this happens, or try to keep away from a big monster that's walking across the screen that will insta kill you or eat you or something like that. I think that would be really cool. Just to break the monotony of the fight. So like, I think that's one of the biggest things that Invasions should be doing, trying to break up the boredom between each fight. Because regardless of how you want to spin it, MK11's towers, or the character towers, really had the same problem in my opinion, where it got really boring to constantly just go to a tower and fight and do this and fight and do this. Actually, even in the normal fights, I think that they should add like requirements to it to finish the battles, because MK11 did the same thing for a lot of the character towers, where you had to at least get one of these brutalities or fatality at least one opponent or something along those lines to at least keep your interest or at least keep you engaged in the fights. Because a lot of time you kind of just have like something going on in the background and you kind of just close your eyes and do the what's called for 8 hours and then you never go back to invasions. But I think if you add at least requirements, it would at least keep you semi-engaged. That would be something that I think would be at least cool. Another thing I would love to see is the Titan battles. I'd love to see them rework the way Titan battles work, where instead of just one Titan battle, basically a season, I'd love to see them make it more like a weekend raid kind of thing, where the weekend battles are, I would say, more like God battles, because I'd love to see them make Titan battles a more community driven thing, where, you know, it's like beat the Titan this many times, or give us this many pints of blood, or do this many fatalities to the Titan, or something along those lines, to, you know, really get the community together to, you know, for a common goal. I'd love to see that for online, but invasion specifically, you know, Titan battles. I would like to see the Titan battles really be like you and 2 other players jump in and try to fight this really tough boss that has insta-kill attacks, and you actually have to, you know, maybe not necessarily teamwork. I'd love to see that as well, but just to really focus against these Titans, because even the actual Titan battles, they're not particularly hard. They're annoying for sure. I remember the Baraka one was kind of stupid, but I think that at the very least, if you made Titan battles a community, what's called, or like something that you and your friend can jump in, or you and 2 randoms can jump in, and y'all battle against a really hard boss, I think that would make Titan battles at the very least really interesting. Whereas the little weekend battle ones, you can beat them, and even the raid one, you get a whole bunch of seasonal credits and a whole bunch of loot, like rewards, customization items. I think that would be really cool to create a whole lot for the game. At least give more reason to play Invasions. It's like, oh, there's a new Titan battle. Come on, let's go try it out. Let's go see. And then, you know, you get beat and, you know, your pride wounded. So you got to go back in there because you can't go out on no L, obviously. Really, I'd like to see more reason to use the talismans as well. The talismans you can just play through all of Invasions and you wouldn't even notice if you use the talisman at all. They're kind of pointless. So it makes the little Goro guy kind of pointless because you never really go over there. There's no point to use them. Even the collector is kind of pointless because a lot of times you're just going there to buy like the ornate chest keys, and that's really about it. And the biggest one that I totally forgot until this absolute moment, better rewards. I totally forgot about this. Why we need better rewards for this mode? A lot of it is just reskins of the same outfits that we've been using since the start of the game. It's like, I want to say maybe like 40 of the same skins you've seen across all the characters, and then one interesting skin, which is the seasonal guy. So for MK or season 1 or season 0, sorry, it was Scorpion. Then it was Natara. Then it was Sub-Zero. All those got, you know, their own skins. But I'd like to see more interesting skins for I'd like to see more, you know, cool skins for a lot more characters. They don't have to be as over the top as Sub-Zero's is, but I'd like to see them, you know, at least be more interesting, because a lot of times it's like it's the same skin you've seen just with a different color palette, and a lot of times the color palettes aren't even that interesting. If you give us better rewards, at the very least people would play Invasions more than once a season. But overall, I think Invasions, with those changes, will at least be a more tolerable game mode to come back to every season, instead of what it is now, where it's like, oh my god, I really have to play this mode. Next is more like the miscellaneous stuff, you know, maybe not miscellaneous, but the dressing. I am having a very bad of the game. You know, I'd like to see them speed up the shrine even more, because it is very slow watching the dragon melt the gold, and then it takes a minute to show us what we got, and it takes even longer to give us the to switch out of that mode, because it's trying to register that it gave it to us. That takes a while. Number 2, Why does this mode not really work like the shrine in MK11, where you can pay up to like 100,000 and you just get a whole bunch of stuff? Instead, it's pay 1,000, you get one skin, takes about 7 seconds. Keep doing that every 7 seconds. It's really boring. Just let us pay 100,000. We get maybe 10 things, and you know, that way we can speed through the shrine, since y'all don't add too many things to the shrine anyway. That, you know, it makes it faster for us to just get out of there and get back to whatever y'all giving us. You know, ranked invasions. If you are bored, really bored, go back to story mode. Also, this one once again isn't as, you know, prevalent, but I would like to see more customization for these characters. Give Scorpion the ability to turn his rope into the chain that we've known for so long, or, you know, maybe for Sub-Zero you can change the way his ice clones look, or the way his ice spear looks, or something along those lines. Or Smoke, you can change the way his little hunting knife looks, or even just change the color of his smoke. I think that would be cool, like giving him like pink smoke or something like that. I bet you noticed that. Reptile, I'm not particularly sure. Maybe you can just change the way his acid looks. You know, just different things that people would actually notice, instead of like, we changed the way, you know, the sigil on Shao Kahn's chest, you know, you can now make it a circle instead of a rectangle. No one cares about that. I would like to see them add more things. I like to see them add more things to characters that people want to actually see. I'm not saying it needs to be like how Mortal Kombat 11 did, where it's three different customization what's called, but I wouldn't mind if they did that either, where they actually choose 3 things people want to see. Like someone like Katana, you can change her mask, you can change her mask, you can change her katana, or you can change her fans, and maybe you could change her hairstyle, you know what I mean? Something along those lines. I really need you guys to use the store. Like, you're trying to, you know, make us buy stuff in the store, but there's nothing in the store to buy. As of the time I'm recording this, right now, it is the Omni-Man announcer, some gear for Scorpion, and some the best of Season 2 Earthrealm skins. And in the rotating one, it's even worse. You can buy the Shang Tsung announcer pack, Titan General Shao, and Katara Vala, something I already have, and the Sonya cameo, MK3 cameo skin, something, once again, I already had. Right now, it's nothing at all worth going in here and going, oh, you know what I want? I want, you know, the Katara Vala skin. Cool skin, don't get me wrong, but 1 out of, what is this, 9? Yeah, 1 out of 9 things that I want to buy is not good. Or even the fact that I own 2 of these. The rest of these I don't care about, because 4 out of the 9 are just accessory pieces. 1 of them is an easy fatality tokens. And $1,000 for an announcer pack is beyond highway robbery. You people are out of control. Y'all need to be stopped for that. Maybe I'd consider buying Titan General Shao. That's about it. This store is terrible. Why is it that if y'all want people to buy these premium items, then make them actually premium items. I'll just say for this rotating what's called, there's 9 pieces. Katara Vala, Titan General Shao, those 2 can stay. Even the Sonya cameo skin, that can stay as well. Everything else has to go. Like, for one, the Shang Tsung one should be like 200 Dragon Crystals at best. It's an announcer skin pack. It's not that big a deal. But in terms of skins, you could have easily kept the Daily Alliance Lee May, Natara, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero ones. And if you're doing cameo skins, let us be able to use like MKX Trimmer. Give us a MK, let's say 9 Kano, or even just like Deception Tanya, or something along those lines. You know what I mean? Like, actually give us a reason to pay for these skins. Right now, what is the point? Most of this stuff is accessory pieces that nobody really is going to see. Nobody's looking at Sub-Zero's mask. Nobody is looking at Smoke's mask. A lot of the time, you don't care what they're wearing. So I really think they need to fix this store if you really want people to shell out, you know, $10, $15 for what is admittedly a worthless purchase. Now getting to arguably the worst part of this game, the online. I don't understand how we have games like Tekken and even Fighters is getting better for it, and Street Fighter 6, where, you know, their online is infinitely better than MK or Mortal Kombat's. It is shocking how terrible this online is. Number one, the desync issues. We have been having this, we've been running around in circles on this one. You gave us a patch that supposedly fixed it. It made it worse.
No, that's wrong.
Editing mementos here. Turns out they finally, allegedly, I want to put that just in case, you never know with this game anymore, they managed to fix the desync issue, so ranked is finally playable. We'll see if it lasts. They said they fixed it last time. We'll see if this one lasts. But at this point, is it too late? Because at the point of me recording this version, Tekken 8 is out and people is already jumping ship. That game has its own problems with connectivity issues right now, but at least they communicate that they had them. And then they fixed them. NetherRealm could never. Anyway, back to the video. A lot of times, even like the connections are terrible. Like it could be me and a guy who are on wired connections, like Ethernet, it plugged into the PS5, and it says about 45 milliseconds. Why is it still jumping to like 195? We both lagging. I don't understand. I don't understand that. Like, if you gonna lie to me, at least say it to my face, please. Talking about even just getting to rank. Desync is absolutely terrible on ranked, obviously, and it's where it happens the absolute most. It doesn't really happen to me too much, or it's ranked. The desync issue really happens on ranked. I haven't had it happen to me on casuals, at least. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it happens to me only on ranked. So far in the, I want to say maybe 100 games I've played in casuals recently, I haven't had it happen to me on casuals. But just getting back to ranked, the rank system does need a bit of an overhaul. I went into it on my other rant. You can go watch that if you really want to see me kind of angry. I got into that on ranked, where why is it hiding the rank of the people before we actually get to see it? Because you show us the milliseconds and then say, yeah, I'll fight that, and then you get in and see it's somebody 2, maybe even 3 ranks below you, where they have everything to gain and you have nothing to gain. That is stupid. I'll say that until my last breath. Let me see who I am fighting, because once again, obviously rank is not indicative of how good a person is. There are people who are probably in combatant that could beat Elder Gods. There are people that are in Elder Gods that are absolutely dog water. But at least let me be able to choose. Like, if right now I'm still in God because I haven't really been playing ranked too much. I kind of had to take a break from Mortal Kombat 1. It's rough out here. Getting on ranked and you see somebody with 45 milliseconds after seeing like 90s, 100s, maybe even the 200s, and you're like, all right, I'll play that. And I'm a guy ranked going against people in Master. How is that fair? That's not fair at all. You know what I mean? I basically get a rank down chance while they can rank all the way up to basically Grandmaster for no reason. I think that I should be able to leave those games. Now, if I'm in the same rank or somewhere, or they are close to me, so let's say they're within 500 points of me, I shouldn't be able to leave. Like, let's say I find somebody else that's in God, I can't leave, unless the connection is bad, obviously. Let's say I'm in the beginning of God and there's somebody at the tail end of Grandmaster, or at the tail end of Demigod, sorry. I shouldn't be able to leave that, because that's basically, we're basically at the same exact place, just a different rank. We're basically at the same thing. I would be okay with that. But a lot of times it's like I'm, in the middle of God and I'm playing people who are, at the beginning of Grandmaster, or even the middle of Grandmaster, or even the middle of Master. That's stupid. I don't like that. I personally think that should be changed. That would make at least the ranked a little bit better for me. Now we get to the real meat and potatoes of Mortal Kombat 1. The gameplay. More specifically, the characters. The gameplay is absolutely fine. The one thing I don't think I've seen most people complain about is the gameplay itself or the characters. I think it's just certain things are really bad about it, but overall, Mortal Kombat 1 is probably one of the best titles for MK or for Mortal Kombat. It's just, you need to fix it. Nerfing terrible game plans, or more accurately, reworking or nerfing people like Raiden and Baraka, and even to some extent Scorpion's terrible game plan of down one poke into chip. That's very boring to watch, and it's very boring to play. Now, I'm not saying this would obviously make them worse characters. So you know how you fix that? You buff them. Give them an actual reason to use the other tools. Because right now, Raiden and Baraka in the beginning of the game were really just living off the fact that they could, you know, pull out 50, 60% at the drop of a hat. So we just, you know, you overlook that. But now that they are doing pretty much in line with the cast damage wise, you're kind of just forced into, you know, poke into chip. And I would like to see them at least rework or something along those lines for those characters to where they're actually usable in a different way than, you know, poking a chip. That's not a particularly fun strategy to watch at the highest level. No one wants to go to Evo and watch, you know, somebody do poke into Storm Cell or poke into the chop move. Nobody wants to see that. That's not fun at all. I'd like to see those kind of game plans, very simplistic game plans that really don't have much depth behind them, you know, phased out and put into something else. Number 2, just a game-wide buff for every character. For the past, 5 months, a lot of the patch notes really haven't looked all that different. A lot of them have looked like bug fixes and maybe a little bit of frame data changes. I'd like to see, you know, every character, okay, maybe not every character, because there are certain characters on this list that they don't need buffs. I'm looking at you, Johnny. For the past, since the inception of the game, most of the top contenders of this game have still been there. But a lot of the ones who are at the bottom haven't really left the bottom. And I'd like to see, you know, at least them go up the ladder from, you know, bottom 5 to at the very least on the better side of 15. You know what I mean? I just like to see buffs for every character. Number 1, characters like Reiko. How about we actually make him the grappler he's supposed to be instead of the zoner that really went from one of the more fun playstyles to one of the most annoying playstyles in the game. Give him, you know, the tick throws. Make him actually be able to be threatening with the command grab up close instead of, you know, zone, put out a kick with a extended hitbox and just continually run away. I would like to see him just go from basically a zoner back to, you know, a grappler, because that's what this game is particularly lacking. A grappler. I would love to see the, you know, the war orphan, you know, WWE fighter, you know, actually be a grappler. Next, while the characters need a buff, the ones who actually really need a buff are the cameos. The cameos right now, a lot of them do fill in very archetypal, or a lot of them do fill in on very archetypal roles, but there are some of them that kind of just don't, if that makes any sense, where characters like Cyrax in the beginning, Striker, and Lao. Right now, the 2 best ones that I think most people would agree on is Striker, Lao, because they pretty much just make any move that would be unsafe, safe. It's why people like Baraka and Raiden can get away with doing pretty much what would pretty much send them to the ER for free, because these characters come out and they'll throw a grenade, or Kung Lao, you'll do like a really unsafe move with someone like Omni-Man, like his forward 3, and just put out Lao so you don't get punished. I'd like to see them kind of move away from that and more so give people more interesting, you know, what's called. Now, that said, I would also like to see them buff every cameo. I'd like to see them buff every cameo before they nerf Striker Lao. What I mean by that is, if they buff every single cameo from Darius to Trent or Chameleon, and Striker Lao is still the best option, then you nerf them, which would put them in line to basically everyone being busted. And you still choose, and you're still able to choose, you know, every other, you know, cameo. Because to me, I think Chameleon is a step in the right direction for cameos. I'm not saying every cameo needs to have the randomly changing three variation one, but I do like the fact that Chameleon is one of the only characters where everyone can use her to some capacity. Like, there's obviously better options for other people, but at the very least, she has something for everyone. Like, she does so much for everyone, and there's so many different ways to use her that it creates depth within your character and her herself. Like, she gives you overhead low mix with the Melina one. She gives you a lot of damage with the little Serena attack, and the fact that she has anti-zoning with Jade's Glow, and the fact that she creates really fun, weird setup and combo extension with Katana's fan lift, and the fact that she also has good zoning with Katana's and the fact that the Katana fans are combo extension themselves. She has something for every single person to be able to use. I think that is absolutely key to the future of Mortal Kombat. Pretty much giving every cameo the ability to be used at either every moment, or fill their archetypal role to the best of their abilities. And that means I mean supercharging them to fill that role to the best of their abilities. Instead of, they kind of do it and they're kind of good at it, but these guys are good. These guys are only okay, but these guys are really good. I'd like to see every cameo just be given a buff to, the nth degree. At the end of the day, we all just want to see Mortal Kombat 1 succeed. Any normal person just wants to see the game be the best it can be. Unless you're a weirdo person that revels in the fact that this game is dying. We all just want to see the game, succeed, because the game is perfectly fine. It's everything else about it that is terrible. I'm not saying that these changes would immediately make the game perfect, but at least it would put it on the right track to, make the game a better game at the end of the day. But what changes would you guys like to see for the game? Let me know in the comments below. I've been your boy Mementos. Peace.